Dr. Susan Crockford, polar bear expert. I hear from David Attenborough and Greta Thunberg that polar bears are in serious trouble and that we should bomb the global economy back to the Dark Ages to stop the polar bears dying. Tell me, are polar bears seriously in danger?
At the moment, no, they are not. In fact, polar bears are thriving. And this is something that is not really getting out to the community. What's happened is that in 2007, there was a prediction that when sea ice declined to about 42% below what we'd seen in 1979, that 2/3 of the polar bears in the world would be gone. That would be 10 out of the 19 subpopulations that exist. But what's happened, we find from research, is that the bear numbers have not gone down at all. They in fact have gone up at least 16% and probably more. So the bears are thriving despite the fact that the sea ice has declined dramatically.
But I was told by the experts that if their sea ice goes, they can no longer feed. Is that not true?
What's happened is that the polar bears, they do most of their feeding in the springtime, not the summer. So when the summer ice declines, it really doesn't affect the polar bears all that much. And that's one of the reasons why those predictions from 2007 just haven't come true.
What about the pictures I've seen of starving polar bears?
The starving polar bears really don't tell us anything about what the population is doing, because starvation is actually the leading natural cause of death for polar bears. It just happens.
And has this made you popular in the green community? I understand you've recently lost your post at a university.
Well, I've lost my adjunct faculty position at the University of Victoria in Canada. And what's happened is that they refused to renew it. It's something that needs to be renewed. But I'd held that position for 15 years. And as far as I knew, there was no one unhappy with my work or my performance. However, there was an incident 2 years ago that I think really led into this incident. And that was I was refused to participate in the University Speakers Bureau. Now, this is a voluntary organization that puts professors and graduate students into the community to give lectures to community groups. And I'd been doing that since 2009. I'd been speaking about dog domestication and polar bears, as far as I knew, without any complaints. And all of a sudden, the Speakers Bureau told me that I had to get permission from my department chair in order to continue, and she refused permission, saying that there had been complaints received in the upper echelons of the university that some of my lectures to school children had lacked some kind of balance. Now, no one told me that my lectures were required to contain balance, so it was quite a surprise to me that that would have happened.
Do you think you've been blacklisted for telling inconvenient truths?
Oh, I absolutely do. And because I had recently, just before that, I had given a lecture at the Heartland Institute at their climate conference, and that particular lecture had just been posted online. So it was a matter of weeks between the two incidents, and I don't think that's a coincidence.